Damn, they really did Suou kind of dirty in this episode, making him lose in the first round. But this does actually do a lot of positive things for the antagonists. Yes, they are now a point up on our heroes, but more importantly, it really shows off two things. Firstly, it further showcases the power slash threat level of the new antagonists, as Suou was our hero's strongest fighter. Only Akina could touch Suou in terms of card fighting, and yet we saw in the previous episode that even he loses to Suou from time to time. Secondly, it shows off the impact a desire slash dream can have. A segment that gets echoed in the Hikari and Akina conversation segment at the end of the episode. Suou doesn't have an outright wish to achieve. After all, he's only participating in this tournament because Akina is willing to do so as well. That extra drive, determination and resolve was missing. Yes, Suou wants to win, but there's nothing more driving him that extra step to overcome the obstacle in front of him. Now, sticking with the theme of needing a wish, this is where we find ourselves with Akina. He is a character that already had his wish granted, and in general, he is a selfless person, so he has nothing to wish for when it comes to a personal wish for himself. When asked what he would wish for, it revolved around another person. So we're going to need some character development for Akina's character and kind of make him realize slash figure out what he really wants in life, and then struggle slash strive to achieve that goal. Another interesting thing that surrounds Akina's character is passion. Will we see this be a factor moving forward? After all, mentally, the situation is negative for him. He's not communicating with his sister very well as she's being mind controlled-ish. Her desires have been mega amplified, making it so that she's more driven, determined, focused, or even you could say fixated slash aggressive. Still, Akina again isn't willingly participating. He's just being forced to be in this situation because he wants his sister back to normal. All of this to say that hopefully Akina will become a little more selfish and we get some kind of character development being showcased in the future. Moving along now to a different note, the OST in this episode for Black Maya and Suou's opponent's monster was insanely good, which helped to add to the intensity and the hypeness of this clash of fated versus desired. Now, in a way, they used the music in a very smart way as well, because yes, it builds up the hype with the high intensity, but when they cut the music off for the damage check, that further created and added to the suspense, making some amazing uses of sound. Looking at the matchup, however, this Solgia deck was a lot cooler than I thought, and the units themselves look more like something out of Mega Colony, which, again, it does stick with the theme of multiple attacks and having units attack from the back row, which is synonymous with Solgia. But it also has its own uniqueness with those Infinity Eye markers. The destined one of Infinity, Lavrius, I think that's how you pronounce it, allows you to place one Infinity Eye marker on your field and one on your opponent's field, allowing your own monsters to gain 1000 attack when you attack, which actually also does stack with the Persona Break effect when your front row units all get plus 1000 power as well, so that's pretty useful. But then, if there's a marker on your opponent's unit when they attack on their turn, it negatively affects your opponent's monsters, making them lose 1000 attack, and you can draw a card with the cost of removing that marker from your opponent's side of the field. So I've got to say, so far I'm really liking this boss monster, and again, it does also help with the fact that they've taken down the unit that was known as the Destroyer of Dreams. So, yeah, awesome. Aikawa as a character I thought was more intriguing within this episode. I like that they hinted at a Suou connection between the two, with the lost memory plot thread returning. His eyes changing colour did make me think of Psyqualia for a small split second, but I think it was just a visual effect to showcase his desires being heightened thanks to Sybil's effect. Did anyone else find it weird that before that they announced the first matchup, Aikawa even went up to Suou and said, "I'm defeating you"? But then Aikawa said he has a dream to visit the planet Cray. Isn't that Chrono's goal from the G era? Oh well, but in all seriousness, this does help us prove that maybe he isn't being manipulated like the others are, but more so, it's possible that he managed to meet Sybil in the first place, which then kind of lines up with the timeline we saw in episode 1, where they interrupt the portal opening for Gabelius. On the other side of things, there were some other worthy notes to take from this episode. I love seeing Yuna fangirling over Mikoto, and sparks were flying between Now and the blonde girl, with Now looking a little bit nervous, which means, do I smell history? Maybe these two characters have battled many times before, and Now's got a 0-win record against her. Who knows? Oh, also, when they mentioned the possibility of what happens if a draw occurs, this just basically tells us that a draw is going to happen, because we've got to get Akina versus Hikari, but we've also got to get Akina versus Aikawa. So the only way for that to happen is for them to draw 3-all, and then the representatives being Aikawa and Akina. Well, overall this episode was really fun, as it builds characters, adds to the lore, and builds the tension. But moving forward, I do hope they give our heroes a win, as this guy who's fighting next episode, Taizuo, he lost in the last season, so hopefully they kind of redeem his character within this episode coming up, making it so that he's a little bit more of a pro than he claims to be. So that's all I've got to say for this episode. If you've enjoyed, please hit that like button, comment your thoughts down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Alligator, matane. Goodbye.